Hello, fellow Bills fans. Sean Rogers, Realtor and lead of the Mr. Rogers Homes team. Did you know that real estate is one of the best ways to build wealth? And right now is one of the best times to own an investment property in Arizona? Please reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions so we can take the next step to your financial freedom here in the Valley of the Sun utilizing real estate. As always, God bless America and go Buffalo!
What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. This is Tailgate Talk. My name is Mike. Tommy will be here shortly. He is having some technical difficulties. But how's everybody doing tonight? We got started a little bit early in the chat. Tonight we have Nathan S. in the house. We have DM Mag in the house. And I liked some of the things that are going on in there. I know DM Mag was asking about some linebackers, if we need to add another one. We'll talk tonight a little bit about that. Hopefully we can get Tommy back in here shortly, and we can have a little bit of things. What's going on, T Dobbs? How you doing tonight, bud? I don't want to do too much talking about last Thursday or last Monday night's Titans Bills matchup. It angers me. It's one of those things. It was for the most part a pretty good game, but at the same time, the Bills just couldn't convert. Josh slipped, and it is what it is. Couldn't stop Derrick Henry. Surprise, surprise. But for the most part, that's how games play out. So we got T Dobbs in the house, we got Y in the house, we got Daniel Gary's in the house. How you guys doing? With tonight's show, since it will be the bye week, we're going to take a lot of stuff from the chat. We want to know what you guys are up to, what you guys want to talk about. It's the bye week, so we're not going to be previewing any extra games. We'll kind of look into the offensive line tonight. We're going to look into and preview how the schedule's set up moving forward. But, I want to hear what you guys want to talk about, because that's what we're here for. Kind of a therapy session after Monday night's game. So with that, hopefully Tommy will be able to get back in here shortly and we can get his takes, but for the most part, we'll keep the show rolling. Oh, looks like he's getting ready to hop on in. Tommy, what's going on, my brother?
What is up? Having some internet problems. So if I chop out, let me know.
Okay, we'll do. I was just getting started, kind of ran through what the show's going to kind of look like tonight. I want to take a lot of what the chat has. But we'll touch base. I want to get your thoughts quickly on the Titans recap, and then we'll move into some bye week stuff.
Yeah, the red zone was terrible. The offensive line was trash. We should have won by at least 13 points if the red zone work would have been better. There was no reason for that last play to even come down to that. If he would have just scored a couple times instead of kicking field goals. We scored 0 points in the fourth quarter. That is ridiculous against one of the worst defensive football teams in football. I think they were ranked like 20-something, 24th, 25th, something like that. Yeah, that's bad. And not only that, their defensive players, cornerbacks, were dropping like flies. Like, they were losing people left and right. And we couldn't score a single point in the fourth quarter.
Well, we only had 2 drives.
It doesn't matter. 2 drives, 0. So I don't care about that. The point is we scored barely any points in the second half. That's not going to win playoff games.
So let me ask you a question. Off of that. So where do you put this loss? Do you put this loss on the offense or on the defense?
More on the offense.
Really?
Than the defense. I thought the defense got gassed, no doubt about it. But I also got to put it on some of the coaches too. You can't just put it all on the players. I think sitting AJ Epinesa was a mistake. That's one. I really don't understand that. It didn't help at all. Matter of fact, this was the worst game that we played against Derrick Henry, right? Like, Derrick Henry squashed us, right? 150 rushing yards. 3 seasons before that, did under 70 each time, right? So obviously, getting Harrison Phillips in there did not solve the problem. It made it worse. So, no, I think the defense they got gassed, bro. But the offense didn't do their job, bro. Plain and simple. I think we should have won by, like I said, 10 to 13 points. That's it. That's all I can tell you.
Okay.
I mean, as
Well,
far as that goes.
I will.
Everybody's to
come
blame.
back with
If
that.
you really want to ask
Yeah.
me, I think everyone's to blame.
We were 2 out of 5 in the red zone, which hurts, which let them stay in the game ultimately. The offense still put up 31 points. When you have the number 1 ranked defense and you're supposed to be stout, you can't give up 34 points. So, and I don't put this so much on the defense. I put this on Frazier and McDermott and their game plan. Because in the first quarter, they were running man-to-man. They were stacking the line and shutting Henry down for the most part. And it was working. We were getting them off the field. We just couldn't score touchdowns. We kicked field goals. And then they let one 76-yard run change their defense. They stopped running man-to-man. They started playing zone, and the game completely changed. And they never did anything to take away the middle.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that one long run, though, kind of looked like a hold there. There was 2 holds that I saw. One on Jordan Poyer and one on, I believe, Teron Johnson got held as well. Mm-hmm. But whatever. Regardless, the refs, I thought they blew that call. There was definitely holding there.
Yeah.
But besides that, I mean, after that play, like you said, I think we just got beat by him. Not only that, we got beat by Tannehill in the 4th quarter. It's embarrassing. Like, come on, man. Like, he let us. Let's be honest. He when it counted, he went down and led them on a drive that scored a touchdown on big 3rd downs, man. AJ Brown started heating up. We could not stop AJ Brown on those 3rd downs. A lot bad happened there.
T-Dobbs comes in and says 14 points were erased off the board due to bad penalties. Knox running, McKenzie's 101, house call. And really, we activated a 6th linebacker, and that 6th linebacker is the one that got the hold on that. Like, we deactivated Boogie and Epinesa. And by the way, Tannehill had been sacked 20 times coming into this week, and we didn't get him once.
0. Yeah.
So why was one of our best pass rushers sitting on the bench, not even active? Made 0 sense to me. And we didn't. It's not like we needed the extra linebacker either, because we didn't use him. He played special teams because we still ran our nickel defense. We didn't, if there was ever a time to run AJ Klein, this was the week.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, there's a lot to this game that was like a little head scratching. Now, if we would have won, obviously, I would have been like, hey, I still don't agree with it, but we won, and it is what it is. But we didn't win, so you gotta fucking call it out. And I just don't. The AJ thing was really mind-boggling. It's not like he's having a bad season, and we still need pressure on the quarterback. 0 sacks on Ryan Tannehill. That's embarrassing as well. I mean, like, what happened there? Like, the guy was clean all night, pretty much. I mean, it just, you can't have that happen. We were supposed to be gearing this defensive edge like up to get to the quarterback, to cause havoc in the backfield. And we were just all concentrated on Derrick Henry. It was just ridiculous, man. They game planned it totally wrong, I felt like, man.
Yeah. I loved what they did in the first quarter when they went man-to-man and, stuffed on back-to-back drives and stuffed Henry. It was awesome. I loved that defense. Good. And then after we got gashed, they're like, yep, we're not doing that anymore. And really the gas was because of the 2 holding calls.
Right.
It completely changed them. Then it seemed like they went conservative. I felt our game plans were very conservative through the whole night anyways. Like,
offense and defense.
Yeah, offense and defense. We moved the ball a ton to there. Josh threw for 353.
He
You
played.
know, and
Listen, Josh had a good game, man.
Mhm.
Josh overall had a good game, but not the red zone. Once again, it's like, what is going on this year? We were like, I think top 5, top 10 last year in red zone efficiency. Now we're like towards the bottom. That's
Mhm.
bad, bro. Like what is going on there? And then also, I don't know if we're gonna are we gonna cover the last play of the game, because I got a couple questions for you, Mikey, and
Yeah.
I'm being serious here. Reggie Gilliam, he's on the 53-man roster. Why? Why was everyone kind of talking about Reggie Gilliam in preseason?
Special teams.
Because that's one. Two was, what do we use him in preseason for? Short yardage, right?
Yep.
4th and 1, 3rd and 1. Like it wasn't Zach Moss, it was Reggie Gilliam, right? And everyone was like, damn, okay, wait a minute, hold on, right? Like, wait a minute, we may have a guy that can pick up that yard instead of Josh Allen all the time. Okay, where was he? Like, why haven't we used? That's one. Two, I'm just saying, Zach Moss, who everybody is so high on, right? He's the guy that can get the yards when needed, right? He's not going to go down he's the ground and pound guy. Why are we continuing to use Josh Allen on the short downs? I don't mind here and there, but I'm just saying, you're telling me that Tennessee was not ready for that play? Of course they were. They knew we were running Josh Allen. They stuffed the box, and there was so much wrong in that play. Obviously, Deion Dawkins got manhandled. Josh slipped. But where was the guy behind Josh Allen, pushing Josh Allen, even to be there in case he did fall or got stuffed? I see it all the time. Last night's game, prime example, Teddy Bridgewater was short, and he got pushed, and he got the first down. That's all it takes, and we did not do that. That was so poorly executed. And like I said, the play call was bad. I think I didn't mind going for it. I just hated the execution. I really didn't even like the play call. I'll be real with you, because they knew it. They knew it the whole time.
I didn't like the play call either. My issue went back to our offensive line was getting their ass kicked all night long.
The whole night.
The whole night. The only time we ever really got anything, the only thing we ever got anything really going on the run was on the outside. So why all of a sudden, when it comes to 4th and half inch, and granted, Josh keeps his footing, chances are he gets it. I get that.
Maybe.
I mean,
I thought Deion Dawkins got blown up, bro. That guy was in the backfield quick.
He did. The way they pinched down between them. There's no way Dawkins could get to that guy. My question is, why did Josh go left? Why didn't he go? The whole offensive line went right, and Josh went left.
Maybe he felt like he was going behind one of his best line. I have no idea. I'll be honest. I don't know. We'd have to ask Josh. But then another thing I want to
Simmons. He went right into Simmons, and it just made no sense. But I still don't like the play call. Why not go to an RPO? Much like we did at the end of the Chiefs game.
Right. Why not put it in? Listen, why not? I didn't even mind the shotgun. Once I heard somebody was like, why is he in shotgun? I didn't even listen. If he would have stayed in shotgun, I think I would have been more okay with him losing out on a pass, and then we lose that way over that botched. They knew it was happening. I would much rather Allen rolling out on that play and either he going in for a touchdown on a sweep or passing it, looking for an open man, or a fake there. Why not go to Dawson? Not Dawson, he was out, but why not go to Tommy Sweeney or set up like one of those plays, or even have Reggie Gilliam as a decoy and then have Reggie Gilliam go out? He's a tight end, bro. And then speaking about the running, just a heads up. Yes, the offensive line was bad, but that doesn't mean you stop running. So Devin Singletary had 5 carries. He was averaging 5.4 a carry. That's not bad. That's good, right? Anything over 5 is really good. He got 27 yards. Why did we stop? Bro, 5 carries? That's ridiculous, bro. Zach Moss had 8 carries. He averaged 3 yards a carry. And I like Zach Moss, but let's be real here. Come on, man. His average is bad, bro. He's not that great.
Let's pump.
He's a ground and pound guy.
Let's pump the brakes.
Singletary's
carries, yards per average per carry was skewed because he broke the big one early.
Yeah, 14 yards. So okay, I don't care if he broke one early. So we can also say that about Derrick Henry's average.
Right?
So okay.
So the reason why we didn't run. The reason why we didn't run is because their secondary was in shambles. Well, most of Allen's runs weren't designed runs. It was him having to roll out and get the hell out of the dodge because the offensive line was letting somebody through.
Mikey, you got to run. Josh Allen threw 47 times. You got to mix it a little bit more in the run. 5 carries, you can't just do 5 carries, bro. Listen, we lost the game in the red zone, right?
We got to run something in the trenches on both sides, ultimately. But yeah,
I mean, it was just like I said, man. You got to have a little bit more of a balance on that. I know we're a pass heavy team. I'm just saying, like 5 carries, you got to have more, Mikey. You do. I'm sorry.
Well, 5 carries for one guy. The other guy had
8. Yeah, averaging 3 yards a carry. It's might as well not even give him the ball. I'm just saying, like, come on, man. He's our lead back. Like 5. He should have had at least 10. Can we give him 10?
Not that week. Like, not against that defensive line. Jeffrey Simmons is one of the best young defensive linemen out there. And let's be perfectly honest, a dominant defensive lineman along with a good edge rusher is what gives the Bills offensive line problems. And that we saw it again this week.
Yeah. No doubt. I'm surprised teams aren't doing this more often. I think Pittsburgh.
Well, you have to have the horses to do it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Pittsburgh showed out. They did a heavy blitz up the middle, and we were like stuck. But I'll be honest though, Josh still played very well. Like he still completed very good percentage. Mm-hmm. He still threw for over 350 yards. He had a good game, other than the interception. It could have happened to anybody. He got hit, the ball got tipped. I mean, that really wasn't a bad throw. It was just got tipped. I thought he played the blitz well. Just our offensive line was terrible. It was bad.
Okay. I want to touch on this. T-Dobbs comes in and says the play that Josh leapt over, there was a guy wide open. If you go back and look at that, the guy doesn't come wide open until everyone moves towards Josh.
Yeah.
And at that point, Josh was at the was at the point of no return. He'd already committed.
Too late.
You know, and I listened to like Nick Wright talk about it. I listened to a lot of people talk about it. No one's looking. I went back and looked at the game film. They were covered at the beginning of that play. Until Josh committed to take off running, that's when the guy opened up. And at that point, he was too late. If he tries to come up and he throws it and he misses him because he rushes the throw, then everyone's bashing on him. He should have just ran it. So he was, he used his athleticism.
And he's running to his left too, which is really hard to make that throw. And by the way, like you said, he's already committed. They're like he was running full force. There was no looking at that point for a receiver. Like he was going. I thought he got the first down. He didn't though. I'll be honest. Like I would have been more pissed if he did, but he didn't. He didn't. He should have stretched a little bit more or something like that. But I think he was just trying to protect the football. Which
I guess my question came when they decided to put it 4th down. Why McDermott called the timeout right then? They were scrambling.
He was hoping for
for the
replay to a replay or for them to measure.
Yeah,
it gave him more time.
They should have just ran up and not let them, take the chance and ran the quarterback sneak in.
Yeah.
They were reeling, but then there was a timeout. Then they took a timeout, and it was a bad setup. It was a bad execution all the way around, and we lost. At the end of the day, we lost.
And then why go in a shotgun and then go underneath the
They were trying to be fancy.
Yeah, see how that worked.
But we could sit here and debate it all day long. It's been debated. I don't want to spend any more time on it. So, the Bills D struggled badly. They got
worse. They got gassed.
Sometimes they just got gassed. They gave up the last 6 possessions. They gave up points. The only time they got stopped,
they got gassed. They were tired. They looked tired to me.
They were tired after the first quarter.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like after that run, they seemed gassed. They seemed gassed and worried. Like they didn't want that to happen again, like you said. So they were playing the box a little different, but it didn't even matter. He still got 75 more yards after that.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Great.
Yep. Yeah. Our run game was non-existent. They didn't even try to run after the first 2. Pass game. The pass game was actually pretty on point. And then our red zone offense, it just needs to be better. We better be spending this Dable better be spending this bye week fixing the freaking red zone offense.
Yeah, for sure. We got to find a target, I think we're missing that, man. I'm telling you, like a big red zone target. There is no guy that we could do fade routes to. We don't. You notice we don't do that much. I mean, when's the last?
I hate the fade. I hate the fade routes. I don't
hate
zone.
the fade route if you have a guy. Bro, if you
it's
have a guy like a taller guy that can go up and get it,
such a low percentage play. It's a low percentage play. It's a low percentage play.
Depends who you, I'm not saying doing it every time, Mikey, but you has to be in your playbook. You have to give it. That's the whole reason why you have a guy that can go up and get a ball, like a Julio Jones, the guy, what's his name for the Arizona Cardinals, Hopkins. Guys like that can go up and get it, bro. Like we don't have that. Like we have great receivers. Don't get me wrong, but they're more like slant guys, short, cut guys. Nobody's gonna go up and jump for the ball. I thought it was gonna be Kumaro, who was 6'4". I thought that's the reason why he made the team. He can get open, right? Touchdown, Jesus. We're not even using it. He's on special teams, so I don't know. I don't get it.
Davis was supposed to be that guy too, but Davis hasn't really been he's been quiet. He has. DM Mag comes in and says he's wondering if Beans will make a trade for a guard or someone. I don't see. I was listening to Jeremiah Searles yesterday on the Shout Buffalo podcast with Matt Perino, and he was talking about it. They won't bring someone. First off, there isn't enough guards. Bobby Hart was just signed to someone's active roster.
I saw.
That's the state of the NFL. There is no guards out there that will bring in. And if you bring someone outside in, you're telling the guys that you have internally that they're not good enough. And that is a way to sabotage your locker room. I don't, knowing the way the culture is built in Buffalo, it's not something that they're going to do.
They're just going to have to fix what's broken right now. Hopefully, duct tape and make it last for the season, bro. But next season they're going to address it.
T-Dobbs comes in and says Henry runs for 150 yards and the Bills have more total yards. The failure is in the passing game. See, I don't think the failure was in the passing game. The failure was in the red zone. That's where the failure was. And I put that strictly on Dable and his play calling, because it's not just 100%. A one-game thing. We're like 26th or 24th in the league in red zone this year. That is horrible.
It's really bad, dude. The Texans game, I think we were like 2 for 6 against the Texans. I mean, it's like, come on, man. Like, you should score every time there. The only game we were good in the red zone was against the Dolphins this year. Other than that, we've been pretty bad every game, bro. Pittsburgh, I think we were like 1 of 4. Like, I mean, these are points left off the board. These are ways to shut teams out early, right? Like the Pittsburgh game, I hate to keep bringing that back, but we should have stopped them, man. If we scored those even if we scored 2 of 4, we win that game. We don't. 1 of 4.
Yeah. John comes in here and says that Morris didn't have a good game at center. If you go back, I don't know if you listened to Cover 1 at all and watch their film breakdowns. Honestly, a lot of that Morris takes the blame for on the television side, but most of that was Feliciano and their pass off. Like, I felt bad from Morris because he's getting blamed for a lot of this crap, and Feliciano's just struggling across the board.
Well, why put him? Why'd they put him back in then? I don't understand that.
I thought
I could. I thought he handled his own.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the left side of the offensive line, and especially with Feliciano. He seems to be our weak link on the O line this year. And poor play. Spen comes in and says, poor guard play on both sides of him is throwing Morris under the bus. You're absolutely right. Let's be perfectly honest. Darrell Williams is average right guard at best. He's not. Yeah. But he's better at guard. He's better at guard and having Spencer Brown at tackle than having Cody Ford at guard and Spencer Brown at tackle. So, that's what the coaches feel. So it is, we that's how it's set up.
Yeah.
And we'll get to the Brown. We'll get to the.
He had a tough. Yeah, he had a tough.
He did. He had a tough game. It wasn't horrible by any means, but it's that speed rusher he's gonna struggle. Anybody who has a counter move, could push him outside and then come and then do that little spin move back inside is going to win against Spencer Brown right now. He just needs to learn another counter.
And I still don't think Dion is 100% yet. He just does not look right. I'll be honest with you. He's probably at 70% at best. I'm telling you, man, he looks slow. He looks like he's getting beat, like physically. And listen, I don't know anything about the COVID crap, but I from what I heard, I know that it takes a little bit while to get your strength back. So it's very possible he's still lingering on that.
They're saying,
not him. He's not going to speak of it, but
he won't make
excuses.
Don't look right. He takes it on the.
He's not. He's not.
I mean, outside of that one really bad play, Dawkins was good most of the night. You didn't hear of Bud Dupree because Dawkins was shutting him down.
He's all right.
Like,
I still think he's not 100% like him.
And I don't think he will be for the whole year because everyone who had it last year came out and said it messed with them all year long.
There you go. And he's a big guy, bro. Remember, that's a tough position, bro. The guard. I mean, those guys are banging, hitting each other all game, bro. So
Brian Buck comes in and says, "Big fan of Spencer Brown. Didn't have a good game. He's a rookie. He's not going to be perfect.
Yeah,
he's going to have. Not only is he a rookie, but he's a rookie that has a bigger learning curve than most. He's super athletic, super nasty. Love it, but the technique isn't there yet. He comes from a very small school. He didn't play a whole lot of offensive tackle until he got to college, and he didn't play last year. So this is what game 3 for him.
He'll learn.
He'll learn.
Yeah." He's going to watch a film. Trust me, I think everybody watched a film on that, bro. I think one thing we are good at, this team, bro, is we're good at bouncing back after a loss.
We are.
So I expect this team, when we come back on Halloween, to dominate the Dolphins because we're going to be pissed again. And I hope that they learned a lot of these mistakes. I hope they clean up the red zone. Like that to me, I think all the things we talked about so far, even the offensive line, I think the red zone probably worries me the most out of everything because we're leaving points off the board, man, and we're there. So that's not the offensive line's problem. That's a play calling problem, and that's on Dable, right?
Yeah,
they have to fix that. They have to.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. And Brian, I know you're not calling him a bust. He had a bad game. I was just trying to justify, him having a bad game. It's my own therapy session. That's what this is. So, Spin comes in and says Brown like Knox, except he was tight end in high school, and Knox was a quarterback in high school, and then he went to a small school. Ton of athletic ability. He's going to be a stud and a core guy for us moving forward. I love what Brown has, and I'm super, super excited to see how he grows. Much like Gregory Rousseau. He didn't have a very good game either. He struggled. He got washed out on the big run. But you know what? These guys are young kids, playing big time spotlight for us. So it happens. They're going to have bad games. We needed to pick them up. When, as bad as we played, we had a chance. We had the ball and a chance to win inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
The Bills are going to be just
100%.
fine.
I thought that, listen, that whole drive was beautiful. Like, I mean, I thought when I'm watching that whole drive go down, I'm like, okay, this is great, man. You're killing the time. You're killing the clock. You're not going to leave them with pretty much anything left. We're going to score this touchdown, and we're going to get out of there with a win. That's all that was going in my mind. And, man, we were doing it. And then, boom, we got stuck. Once again, the whole night, stuck in the red zone. Didn't know what to do. And then that last play, like I said, was just that's how the game went. That last play is exactly how the red zone went all night. It was a disaster. And by the way, Knox got hurt. We're going to have to figure that out. I'm guessing Sweeney's going to be the guy for a week or two. Yeah,
probably. It'll probably be Sweeney for a week or two. And I have a feeling Sweeney's going to be there when we need a tight end. But when we go to the spread, it's going to be probably Davis. We'll see Davis a little bit more. We'll miss Knox. But we also open the second, after our bye week with the Dolphins, the Jaguars, and the Jets. So if there's
By
going to
the
be
way,
games that he has
yeah.
to miss, these are the best ones.
I do gotta. Why the hell does Dable keep doing when he goes to 4 or 5 receiver sets, having a running back go out? Like, if you're gonna do that, put a fucking receiver in there. He's not gonna
I
block
don't
for
know.
Josh Allen. Like, I hate that call. It just doesn't make sense to me. Then put another receiver in the goddamn game, bro. Put Kumaro in then. You know, like, why have small Devin Singletary line up on that? Like, makes no sense, bro. Zero. You know what I mean? It's not like he's a. Listen, if Devin Singletary was like, let's say CJ Spiller back in the day. Like, CJ Spiller's electrifying, right? He get the ball. Let's say if it's an open field, I trust him more than a Singletary because he could do something with it. He's very fast. Singletary's not that guy, bro. You know what I mean? Like, so why line him up way? Like, it don't make sense, bro. Like, I hate that he has to take that play off his playbook.
Yeah.
Killing me.
No, I get it. You know, Nathan comes in here and says, question, why is Paul so fixated on linebackers when we play nickel? I can't answer for Paul. I could give you what I think. I think if we had another linebacker, third linebacker, although he would be a backup, we wouldn't have played Milano. Milano just didn't look right. He was always 2 steps slow this whole game. And when he moved, he looked kind of robotic. So I don't know if Milano was 100% and he was just trying to play through it. And if we had a third linebacker, we wouldn't have had to play Milano. I think that's what Paul was getting at. At least I'm hoping that's what he was getting at. But who knows?
Yeah.
Okay, so we kind of went through the game. Any final thoughts on the game before we move on?
I was wrong about the score prediction.
So was I. The first time I go big, you know, I mean, if anybody watched the play-by-play here at hashtag, I joined Mario for it. And at halftime, we were talking about it. And I'm like, we're going to come out in the second half and we're going to boat race them. I was wrong, dude. I guess I expected our defense to step up and they didn't. I expected Frazier to make some scheme changes and he didn't. And it was the same thing over and over and over, you know,
Yeah.
and it was just so irritating.
And one more thing I do got to say, for as much as they were saying, like, you know, what is it? Bills, Tennessee, whatever the hell they were saying it. That crowd was loud, bro. That crowd was definitely for Tennessee. I'm not saying we didn't have Bills fans there, but they showed up for that team. I got to give them credit because they were loud when they needed. And yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I thought it was, honestly, I thought it was going to be more Bills fans because the year before that you heard them. I didn't hear much. This Tennessee fans, they showed out. I got to give them credit, man.
Yeah, no, they did. And, you know, it is what it is. Let's just move off of that. So let's move over to let's move on. We're going to move over to we'll look at the games real quick, the upcoming games, and then we'll kind of dig into a little bit more of the offensive line. I want to go through it and talk a little bit about OG Bobby Johnson. But, you know, coming out of the gate, we get Miami. Then we get Miami at home, then we go to Jacksonville, and then we go to the Jets.
Beautiful schedule.
That's perfectly setting us up. and then we come home against the Colts, which I still don't know what the Colts are. You know,
I'm not worried about the Colts.
Yeah, I don't know what they are.
By that week, Wentz probably won't even, be healthy. So.
He hasn't been healthy all year.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. So he won't even. So I don't even know what to say about that game.
Yeah.
But I'm not worried about the Colts. We have an easy schedule, bro. I got to tell you the rest.
And then we're Thanksgiving at New Orleans, and the New Orleans are the same way the Colts are. I don't know what they are. They're inconsistent. What team
Jameis
shows up?
Throws all over. What team does Jameis? What Jameis throws shows up? Right? Yeah, the guy that turns the ball over 5 times, or the guy that throws for 450 yards and turns the ball over 5 times. I don't know. We'll find out.
And then in week 13, we're at home against New England. Then we're at Tampa Bay. Then we're back home against Carolina. We're at New England. A home against the Atlanta. A home against the Jets.
Those are all winnable games.
They are,
except for maybe Tampa. Tampa's probably the hardest.
And
Carolina,
honestly, I'm not scared.
I'm not
of Tampa.
worried about.
I'm not scared of Tampa.
I'm not scared of Tampa. I'm just saying, out of all those games, we're going to really go, okay, what
Tampa's
team
probably
there is like
the
could
toughest
play
one.
us. Yeah, that has like on both sides of the ball that they could do something. Because see, Carolina, they got a good defense, but I'm not crazy about their offense. So we should win that game, right?
Yeah.
Every other team, they're just bad on both sides of the ball. I think New England. I mean, they're top 5
Good defensively.
Yeah,
Their
but their
offense,
offense stinks. It
you know.
stinks. So
I mean, the Dolphins are a bad team in disarray.
really bad.
Like they've regressed horribly this year, and their coach, I don't know, Flores, I don't know what he's doing over there. I really don't.
Bro, I said it. I tweeted it out, not to get on the Dolphin talk, but they have a split OC, bro. I've never heard of that, bro. That's crazy, bro. They ain't no quarterback going to that team with a fucking split offense coordinator, bro. Yeah. They wonder why they're bad.
Jags are one of the worst teams in the league. They're rebuilding,
and they beat them.
I know. Then the Jets, we have the Jets that with Bob Saleh, which I like Bob Saleh. He's a good coach. But they're still a couple years away from really being good. They need more roster additions.
Well, he's a good coordinator. I don't know if he's a good coach yet. You'll know in about 3 years.
Yeah. I like the culture that he brings. Much like I liked McDermott when he came. He was a good coordinator. We didn't know what kind of coach he was going to be. He put in a culture, and like I told you last week, I didn't know if I could trust the process, but he lives it every day. Bob Saleh seems very much the same type of guy.
But I don't know who their GM is over there. Yeah, but you got to draft the right
Joe
guys.
Douglas. Joe Douglas is a great GM.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah,
I think the Jets are always bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Then we have the Colts. I like, they are great defensively, offensively. They have a good running back.
A big question mark on there.
They have a good running back.
Good coach too. I like the coach.
I like Frank Reich. He's a great coach. New Orleans, their offense is a question mark and their defense is a question mark. You don't ever know which one's going to show up. Is it going to be the guys who shut you down, or the guys who give up a bunch of points? Right. And then the Bucks are probably the best team, and I think we're going to be favored in every game except against the Bucks.
Yeah. We should be. I mean, unless something really bad happens, bro. Unless we, which I doubt, but I gotta say that Dolphin game, we better show out. You better show out, man.
Mm-hmm. I like this one. Spin comes in and says Miami just got their years mixed up in their rebuild. They're supposed to be better the next year. They're supposed to get better each year, not regress.
I think they're too caught up in the Deshaun thing, bro. I'll be honest with you, man. I think that's a big reason why too, man. Mm-hmm. Like I said, in the whole split OC makes no sense to me. I think they're just rolling the dice on Watson, and they're going to try for it next year. I mean, that's where I think it's going. That team just, for as good as Flores did the first 2 seasons with them, for a team that should have probably been worse. I don't know, man. Like, it seems like a lot of the free agents he's picked up, they've already cut or traded away. Their draft picks haven't really been working out, right? Tank for Tua is gone to be so far not a good pick. They passed on Justin Herbert. I mean, is their GM and coach on the same page? I mean, there's a lot going on there that we probably don't know because we're not Dolphin fans, but something ain't right. I'm telling you, man. Something's going on in-house, bro.
Yeah. And I like what T-Dobbs says. Patriots can surprise people. They played Dallas close. They also played the Bucks close. Yeah. They have a really good defense.
They got a good coach.
They have a great coach.
Best coach ever, right?
They have a great coach.
He's gonna bring his team. Yeah.
Dallas also struggled. Dallas's defense isn't as good as everyone thinks it is. They turn over the ball a lot, but they give up a ton of yards. They just create turnovers, but they give up a ton of yards.
But so do we.
We don't give up a ton of yards.
No, turnovers. We get turnovers.
Yeah, we get turnovers. But I'm saying there's a difference between what Buffalo's defense looks like and Dallas's defense.
Yeah. Oh,
they give up a ton of yards and then get a turnover. We don't give up a ton of yards, but we still get turnovers. The Patriots are going to be tough anyways. It's a division game. It is what it is.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Their offense stinks, bro. They're averaging 15 points a game.
Jose DeVille comes in and says he's glad they wanted all those picks and wasted them. Yeah, their GM, some of the guys that they've chosen, like woof. Bad picks.
Telling
And
you.
we'll get into a little bit of the draft talk tonight because I pulled up the McBean era's draft to kind of go through tonight, kind of who we picked and how they've done so far. So we'll get into that a little bit. Yeah, I'm with you on this one, Stevon. Poor Tua. He was set up to fail. I truly believe it. Like they did not have a plan. And then when they realized they didn't have a plan, they doubled down on no plan. Like when Josh Bean came out and said it. When Josh was drafted, he made the mistake by not trying to fix the offensive line and not giving him any mentors. So he fixed it. The Dolphins, did the opposite. They didn't fix the offensive line, and they went out and tried. They just picked the wrong guys, I guess. And then they have a double offensive coordinator. So who's his mentor there? Jacoby Brissett?
Right. Who could care less about him?
You know,
like,
it's just,
they don't seem like they have any communication on the sideline. Yeah.
T. Dobbs comes in and says, I wonder if the Bills are still in first in offensive defense. Defense, yes. Offense, I think we're second points scored now. Because we only scored 31. So we dropped a little bit. So offense, I think we're second, and defense, yes, we're still. We had such a huge advantage defensively because we didn't give up anything until this last week. Right. We're still in first overall defense.
You know, it's weird. Even though I picked Buffalo to win in my prediction, remember, I don't know if you want to recall, but we did early before the season, we did record prediction. Remember?
Yep.
And I had us losing to Tennessee.
You had us losing to Tennessee, huh?
Yeah. So maybe that's on me.
No,
loss is on me. You guys.
Well, I think it very
remember
much
I
played out.
said, yeah, because I said
we beat Kansas City, and we were going to be coming off a high, and we were going to lose a close one to to the Titans.
That's what I remember. I'm like, I just have a weird feeling. Because I predicted us going 15-2. We lost to the Bucs and Tennessee. Those are the two losses.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I changed my mind because, like I said, I told you as the season went on, maybe Tennessee's not so good. I have to see bro, we still have won the game. I'm telling you, we are a better team than Tennessee. Let's be real. We are a better team than Tennessee. That game we should have won by at least 10-13. I'll leave it at that. Yeah. But I'm telling you, we left major points.
If we score in 4 of the 5 and just score in 2 more of those, that's 8 more points. Now we're looking, and we said we scored 2 touchdowns and it's 14-0. They're not running the ball still. Now they're starting to throw to try to catch up. So we like everything that needed to happen. I think we talked about this last week. Everything that needed to happen happened for them to come out and win this game. They needed turnovers. They needed big plays, and they got what needed to happen. I like what Nathan comes in here and asks, what do I think of Ed Oliver? I think Ed Oliver's solid.
Yep.
I don't think he's going to be a superstar, but I think he's solid. I think there was a lot hyped up on him coming out of the draft that everyone thought he was going to be the next Aaron Donald. There's only one Aaron Donald.
Right.
Honestly, he's playing better against the run than the pass this year, which is really weird. It's like him and Starr flipped. Starr's a better pass rusher this year, and Oliver's a better run stuffer this year. It's really odd, but he's solid. He makes our defense go. He creates a lot of havoc on the interior. So a lot of the sacks that we were getting was because they couldn't step up because of Oliver.
Yeah. He's
young
still.
Yeah,
still young.
He's young.
He's still learning.
Yeah, and his spin comes in here and says Oliver's getting doubled a lot this year. He still is, and that's why you're seeing Starr be able to create some pass rush. Before it was Starr getting double teamed all the time. He's he's not.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be a superstar. I think he's going to be a hell of a player. I think
Rousseau can.
Good player.
Yes, Spen comes in and says Rousseau can thank Oliver for some of his sacks. I absolutely agree.
Sure,
Rousseau has so much to learn. He's so young, and he's so new to the position. He right now he is a solid defensive end in the NFL on athleticism alone. So just wait until he figures it out. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, I agree, Stevan. Star is carrying our defense with his presence alone because it changes everything. Having someone next to Oliver on the interior that you can't just double or triple team one guy on the interior causes a lot of problem. Daniel Oliver is having a good year. I agree. I don't even say this guy's name. VB, yes. Can we just get rid of him? I am not a fan
for a reason. I don't know why, but they do.
Yeah. Oh God, he's this year's Trent Murphy.
Yeah, but he ain't paid like Trent Murphy. It's a big difference.
Do we renew his contract? It depends. Depends what he wants. Oliver's is a solid defensive tackle. Depending on what he's gonna want is depending on if you resign him. We're not gonna give him superstar money. He's not worth that.
Yeah, no. Nope.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit earlier, Jose. I think Milano was just injured, and he didn't pop because he was very robotic.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I didn't think he was going to play. I felt like they should have.
This is a perfect opportunity to have a conversation about the draft. So I pulled up all of them. So I'll read them out to you. In 2017, this was pre Bean. This was McDermott's first year when he had Whaley and company, and McDermott kind of ran the room. We picked White in the first, Zay Jones in the second, Dawkins in the second, Milano in the fifth, Peterman in the fifth, and Tanner Vallejo in the sixth. So we picked up 3 starters that first year in White, Dawkins, and Milano. The other 3 are off our roster. Yeah. 2018, we went Allen Edmonds in the first, Harry Phillips in the third, Teron Johnson in the fourth, Saran Neal in the fifth. Then we went Teller, McLeod, and Prohl in the fifth, sixth, and seventh. Allen, Edmonds, and Johnson are all starters. Harry and Saran Neal are contributors. Teller, McLeod, and Prohl are all off of our team. Prohl's the only one that's not in the league.
Saran Neal is a beast, by the way. He's
a special team ace. He's one of the best special teamers in the NFL.
That's a great pick, by the way.
It was a fantastic pick. We hit on our first 3, 4, 5 picks that draft. All are and really 6 because Wyatt Teller turned into one of the best guards in football, just not for us. I know. So I mean, and we'll get into that piece when we start talking about Bobby Johnson and like everyone's excited to have him, and I have yet to see him develop anybody. 2019, we went Oliver, Ford, Singletary, Knox, Voshon Joseph, Jaquan Johnson, Daryl Johnson, and then Tommy Sweeney. Yeah. So Ford, Singletary, Knox, all starters. So we picked up 3 more starters in the that draft. Ford and Jaquan Johnson are backups. Tommy Sweeney, look at his late round picks. He's been hitting a lot on late round picks.
Yeah.
Jaquan Johnson in the 6th, Daryl Johnson, Bam Johnson in the 7th, and Tommy Sweeney in the 7th. All of them are in the league still and playing.
They contribute. They do something.
It's crazy. 2020, we have Epinesa, Moss, Gabe Davis, Jake Fromm, Tyler Bass, Hodgins, and Dane Jackson. Bass is the only starter out of there. Epinesa and Gabe Davis will probably turn into starters probably next year.
Yeah.
But all these guys are still on our roster, which is great.
Yeah, no. Fromm, though. Ugh. Hate that.
Yeah, oh, God.
I just don't like him. That's just personal. Me and Fromm have a thing, man.
Stephon comes in and says, is he the only one that's pissed that we didn't pick up Andre Roberts? We haven't needed to pick up Andre Roberts. Who would you? First off, we have a roster crunch to where we still have Stevenson on IR because we have nowhere to put him. So who would we cut to pick him up, and then where would we play him?
We don't need Andre Roberts.
McKenzie has done a good job returning the ball for us.
Yep.
Yep. So it
no
is.
problem.
It
There's
is
no
what
problem.
it is.
No problem. No problem in a kick return game.
No.
Right now.
And McKenzie's a better receiver than Roberts. Roberts is just a special team.
100% better, bro.
Yep. So then 2021, we have Rousseau, Basham, Brown, Doyle, Stevenson, Hamlin, Wild Goose, and Anderson. Both Rousseau and Brown are currently starting. And then we have Basham, who's on the active roster, Stevenson, who's on IR, and then Hamlin, who's on the active roster, and Wild Goose and Anderson were on our practice squad. Then Anderson got signed off of it. So overall, Bean has done a fantastic job drafting.
Really, really good.
But when I look here, I don't see that he's drafted a bunch of really one interior offensive lineman, and that's Cody Ford. I mean, I guess you can say Teller, but we sent him out so quick that he never really got a shot. I would love to see us. This last year we went DN, offensive tackle. I want to see corner and interior offensive line this year. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, no doubt. That's exactly that's that, because I thought we were going to go corner in the second round this year, and we didn't. I think we got to load up on offensive line and corner, man, in the draft, man, or at least go out in free agency and get a stud offensive lineman if you can. They're very tough to come by. So I think if you have a chance at one that's a free agent, just pay him, man. I mean, they're just so tough to come by, bro. But I'm not mad at paying.
Yeah, the problem is the league is so devoid of great offensive linemen that if you have one, you don't usually see him hit the market at all because they get paid. Spen comes in and says he thinks guard cornerback in the first 3 rounds. The problem is a lot of the guards are more second, third, fourth rounders than high. So I would like to see us go, secondary in the first, because that's where you usually find your studs, and then look at bringing in some of those guards. If you notice, not a ton of the, high picked offensive linemen really work out. Really,
yeah.
Most of the really good most of the really good offensive linemen are second, third, fourth, fifth round guys.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it just depends. Honestly, it depends. When the draft's here, getting near, we'll do some evaluation on those guys. But right now, if I were to pick, I go corner first with my first pick, and then
we're gonna need to fill that position because.
But we'll see. I have no idea.
Yeah. So, anyways, I know we were talking a little bit about last week, Tommy, kind of how he hits. So basically, Bean has hit almost 3 starters in every draft, except for the 2020 draft, where he only has 1 so far, but he has a bunch of contributors. But other than that, every year they pick up 3 starters. And then contributors.
You can't. That's what I was telling you. He's done an X. That's how hard that is, bro.
Yeah,
it's very hard as a GM to get it. He's pretty much gotten it right every draft, right? Like, I mean, like if you do the numbers, right? Like,
yeah,
that's just tough, bro. Not only that, not only has he drafted the right guys, but the coaching staff's done a really, really good job developing a lot of these late round picks that he's hitting on, because there was a reason why they fell in the draft, right? So they saw something in him, and they knew their coaches could do something with him, right? Spencer Brown, prime example, right? Guy didn't play last year. He opted out, or the team didn't play, or whatever. So he was only played 1 season, I think, as a guard or something like that, right? So it was one of those things where it's like, wait, we see the talent, I think we can coach him up, or maybe we just, we'll hold him and he'll play next year. He'll start next year. So it's worked out. Look at Damar Hamlin. I'm just saying, like, a lot of these late guys, like 6th round, 7th round picks, are working out. Marquez Stevenson, another guy. I'm telling you, wait till he gets on the field. I'm telling you, Bills fans are going to be super excited when he finally gets his opportunity. But he's a 6th round pick. Man, it's a steal if he works out, even as a kick returner, punt returner. So yeah, man, he's stolen a lot of late round picks, man. I'm telling it.
Hashtag came in here. I don't know if it's Paul or Mario.
Hey.
Came in and said, I stand by Darrell Williams being traded this offseason. Okay. You know, he hasn't played. Darrell Williams hasn't played at all for.
Oh, he's saying what? Trade
Like,
Darrell Williams?
He said he stands by the trade.
Okay.
Starting tackle above 10 million per year for the next 2 years. That smells like a first round pick to me. He wants Darrell Williams. Okay, not
not
Derek Johnson.
Yeah,
he's talking
that's
Darrell
what I was
Williams.
saying.
I can see Darrell Williams getting moved. But the question remains.
Pick, bro.
I don't think he'll get a first round pick either. I think he'll probably go for a third. I can see him getting moved, especially or
risky,
released.
Though. You know, that's risky, bro. I gotta say.
Well, it depends on who they decide to bring in. I don't care about a pick,
right? Yeah, but you got to put somebody in the spot, bro.
Well, Darrell Williams is playing,
you know what I mean?
Right guard at average level.
It don't matter. So who are you going to put in the spot, though?
You know,
you feel comfortable, son? I'm just saying.
I don't feel comfortable with
right
him in the lineup at guard.
We'll worry about it next year.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. He's not playing that bad, bro.
Yeah.
He's not playing that bad. I'm not getting ready. And then, bro, and then we put in like Cody Ford, switch him, and then it's even worse, bro. Like for a pick that we're gonna use next year. No, man. Like I would not trade Darrell Williams. Not now. You know what I mean? That's not maybe next year, maybe in the offseason, right? Then you get the extra pick, and then you draft a offensive lineman in next year's draft. Yeah. But I ain't trading him. Bro, like we just talked about this. Offensive line are very tough to come by.
Yeah.
I am not getting rid of Darrell Williams during the season. That's not
No. He was saying in this offseason.
Oh, yeah. Hey, dude, yeah. I'm cool with that. Offseason, yeah. Hell, dude, for sure. Pick all fine. The season's over. You don't have to worry about it. But yeah.
We'll figure it out.
I thought you were talking about a trade deadline.
No, but Spen comes in and says the Browns aren't touching their O line. You know, that's their only way to win. That O line can make any running back look good. And you know what? And I was talking to Tommy about this before we started going live. That O line is about to get paid. White Teller is in his final year of his contract, and they don't have a lot of money because they still have to pay their quarterback. So they're coming into the cap crunch as well. They got to figure out what they're going to do. Who's going to stay? Who's going to go? That offensive line is about to have to get paid, and they're all going to want big time money. You know, because I'll tell you right now, if White Teller hits the market, someone's paying him outrageous amounts of money.
He deserves it.
Yeah,
he deserves it. They're not easy to come by, those kind of guys, bro. You got to pay them.
Daniel Garvey comes in and says Darrell Williams is the best guard the Bills have right now, and that makes me sad. But yes, I don't disagree. He is the best guard we have right now.
Yeah,
it's bad. It's bad. But the thing is I'm not even sure Ike Bucker is better than Feliciano, because Ike's great is decent at pass blocking, struggles run blocking. He can't move anybody.
Yeah.
Because go back to last year. He got used in that Kansas City game.
Yeah, he's a good backup. That's about it.
Yeah. We don't have two starting offensive guards. It is what it is. And that's fine.
Got to work on it next season, man. But it is what it is.
Did I see that right? Mongo's MVP. Okay. If you think so. He's struggling. But our interior is struggling across the board. So it says Darrell Williams is the best guard right now. It is.
I think that we lost Bobby Hart.
Maybe I'm just salty because Bobby Hart's gone. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, you are salty. That's a good comment. The guy you just put there about Feliciano, about him talking.
Wish he could play as good as he brings the smack talk. Like, I don't know what's going on with Feliciano.
I like him though. I do.
Yeah, I do.
I thought he brung, like last year. I thought he was a big reason why the Lions started playing a little better. Like when he came back, and I'm like, okay, finally, we got like a bulldog mentality. That's what he brings. Like he is the running, blocking, bulldog. And this season, I don't know. I don't feel like he just doesn't look angry. Like he's not playing with that bulldog mentality. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm looking at it different, but it just doesn't seem like it. Just seems like our offensive line gets bullied, right? Like they just do. They don't have like they're not like I don't know, man. Something about them, man. They look soft, a little soft. I hope they're
Yeah.
hearing so they get mad.
Oh, before we get to Jose's question, I love this MVP for Feliciano, my vomit player. Okay. But I did want to go back to the question where he was asking about the thoughts on tight ends and if we bring somebody else in. I don't think we do. Everything that I've seen from McDermott, and it sounds like it's going to be a short-term thing for Knox. He wasn't put on IR, so that's telling me that he's not going to miss 3 games. He might miss 2 because he had the bye week. So I don't see us trading or bringing anybody else in. I think we're going to run with. I could see us taking one of the practice squad guys and elevating them for a week or 2. Just in case we need an extra tight end for some reason, but I don't see us actually bringing somebody in.
No, you don't. First of all, we're not even we barely throw to the tight ends anyways. They're not like a big part of the offense, to be honest with you. So I don't think we need to bring a tight end. Like I think we can deal. Tommy Sweeney will handle his, and I think the injury is only like a week or 2, and mind you, we're going against the Dolphins, the Jaguars, and what's the third team?
Jets.
The Jets. So we'll be okay, like without Knox for those 3 games. I believe he'll be back for a game.
I don't think. Yeah, Stefan. I don't think this is controversial. I think you're pretty right here. That Josh feels 100% more confident in the pocket when Mongo's there because he just has that attachment to Mongo. It's the reason why Mongo's back is because of Josh.
No, well, yeah, of course. I mean, obviously,
no
doubt. I mean,
Mongo
they definitely
Allen was
something.
Pouncey was the Roethlisberger. Exactly. He just has that. He has that trust in him. It is what it is. And coming T Dobb says Sweeney has pretty good hands. Sweeney has great hands. Sweeney just hasn't been used a whole lot. I like what Sweeney is probably our most well-rounded tight end, blocking, receiving. He's not explosive. Dawson Knox is special in the fact that he has traits. Tommy Sweeney is that just, underrated do everything tight end. He has great hands. He makes the block that he's supposed to. He's fundamentally sound, and he'll be just fine replacing Dawson Knox for a couple weeks.
Yeah, especially against those teams. Like I said, we don't barely use the tight end position anyways much, and when we need to use them in a play, he's reliable enough to make the play. Catch the ball to give us whatever. Look, he caught the touchdown a week ago. I mean,
last week he caught the touchdown.
Right.
Jose DeBills comes in and says, "Think of the playoffs if Knox is injured again." And we're just talking about it. Sweeney will fill in, and then we also have a buttload of receivers. I could see Gabe Davis playing the Dawson Knox role. So we have enough guys to fill in. I'm not worried about that.
Right. Yep. And we're not we don't rely on the tight ends much anyways. Like it's not part of the game.
Yeah. So I got a question for you, and this goes back to what we were talking about before we went live, and I want to get the chat's take on this. Bobby Johnson came in 2019, so this is year 3 for him. We put so much Bean and his team drafts guys traits. We talked about it. Edmonds, Allen, Tron Johnson, Oliver, Knox, Rousseau. Those guys are all traits driven. And then he's like, okay, I give you the traits, coach them up. Although that we, drafted Cody Ford, we drafted Wyatt Teller. Neither one of those guys have developed. Wyatt Teller moved on and then was developed. Cody Ford is now sitting on the bench. What is Bobby Johnson on the hot seat? I haven't yet to see him develop anybody. What's your take?
I mean, it's very possible. I mean, right now his room is the weakest, right?
Mhm.
So, and it's been a problem, right? Going on 2-3 seasons now, right? Like we haven't gotten that offensive line fixed yet. Let's be real, right? We go out and we sign Mitch Morse to at that time the highest paid center. We go and draft Cody Ford, right? We move up
Mhm.
to trade out. By the way, we passed on DK for him. Just a heads up. So we trade up for him. We go out, we sign Daryl Williams back, right? Like everybody that he wants back. Mongo, like these are like he had to agree on this. He had a thought that it would work out, and it hasn't. And it's gotten worse. And I think not only it's gotten worse, I think the run blocking was atrocious last year, and the pass blocking was okay. This
Mhm.
season, I think it's like, bro, the pass blocking's gotten worse. Like I don't see
Mhm.
it. It should have gotten a little better. No, like I just seemed like the rush blocking's still the same, the run block's still the same, and the pass blocking has gotten worse. And I think Josh is under pressure a lot more this season. Um, and it's just not good. Josh has backpedaled more this season uh, than I've seen since probably 2019
Yeah.
when the line was kind of bad. Then like
Well, Josh has also run more this year than
right,
he had to last year, and that has to do with the
right,
offensive line breaking down. So let's look at the offensive line. You know, we have Deion Dawkins, who was a second round pick by the Bills. He's 27. We have Daryl Williams, who was a fourth round pick by the Panthers and was an All Pro prior to coming to Buffalo. He's 29. We have Spencer Brown, who was a third round pick. He's 22. He's a rookie. We have Tommy Doyle, who's 23, is a rookie. We have John Feliciano, who's 29. He was a fourth rounder by the Raiders, and he knew Bobby Johnson with the Raiders. You know, then we have Ike Bacher, who was an undrafted free agent by the Bills. You know, he's spent the last 3 years with OG Bobby Johnson. He's 27. Cody Ford has spent the last 3 years with OG Bobby Johnson. He's a second rounder by the Bills. He's 24. He hasn't developed. Ryan Bates, 24. He was actually an undrafted free agent by the Eagles, but we traded for him. He spent the last 3 years with Bobby Johnson. Hasn't developed. Then we have Mitch Morse, who was a second round pick by the Chiefs. He's 29. So we don't have any old guys. Like our oldest guy is 29. We have 3 guys who are 29. Everyone else is 27 and under. So do we need to be more patient to let them continue to grow because they need to learn pro concepts, or is Bobby Johnson maybe not the teacher that we have in some of the other rooms?
or C. Some of the players just aren't that good. I mean,
True, it could be that
you
too.
know,
I mean,
you know,
we draft traits, right? That's what he drafts. He drafts
right.
traits, and then he wants you to go get the traits out. Not everyone happens. I mean, Voshawn Joseph, they drafted traits. It didn't happen. He's out of the league. You know, so I don't know. We have yet to see our our O-line coaches develop any of these guys. Because did they develop Deion Dawkins? No, Deion Dawkins was good before they got there. Daryl Williams was an all-pro before he came to Buffalo. You know, Mitch Morse was the highest paid center. Is Feliciano better this year than he was the first year? I don't think so. I think he's regressed. You know,
Yeah.
and then Ford, Bacher, Bates, they haven't developed into starters. So, at what point do we look at our O-line coaches and say, hey, you're not developing guys?
Right. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I mean, it really is it's a good point to bring up. I mean, because if you look at, like I said, if you look at the rest of the team, they've all gotten better, right? At their
Mm-hmm.
position, right? The wide receiver room, I forget his name, but that guy, the Cat Allen, right?
Chad Hall.
Okay,
Chad Hall.
Fat Hall. He does a great job. Players love him. Every
Mm-hmm.
player, if you look at the players that gone there, their stats have got
Well,
improved, right? So
yeah.
Cole Beasley, Stephon
They're
Diggs,
developed. They've
right?
developed.
Gabe Davis
Mm-hmm.
came out, had a great rookie season.
Isaiah McKenzie.
Right?
Look how much Isaiah McKenzie's developed from the time he got here to where he's
McKenzie
at
was
today.
a walk, right? Exactly, McKenzie. And then, like I said, the list goes on and on. The defensive coordinator, the linebackers coaches, they all gotten better. They all got their players to play better, special teams even. But Johnson, but I gotta say that the players do love Johnson. So they do have some kind of, they have a connection with him, but he has to start showing something,
Mhm.
or he has to be real with Brandon Beane at some point and say, look, this guy's not cutting it. We have to go out and draft. Like you know what I mean? Like, don't just keep on saying, I think I can do it with this guy. And maybe it's just not working. Like, look at the Wyatt Teller situation. Maybe Wyatt Teller, and I say this to as well, because not every player, works for some team. He might
Mhm.
work better with another team. It happens a lot.
Yeah.
But maybe Wyatt Teller just wasn't the guy for this system. That's why he moved on. He became who he became. Maybe he would have never became what you saw now here. I don't know, but he has to be honest with Bean and just say, hey man, we need to bring somebody else.
So here's my question. Is it we haven't brought in the right guys, or is it we brought in traits and he just hasn't developed the guys?
Yeah, it could be both. It could be both. Honestly, it could be both. It could be traits and the guys just aren't working out, because not every trait you're going to bring in works out, right?
Yeah.
Basheen Joseph, right? Didn't work out. Like, unfortunately, we had high hopes on him. Didn't work out. Dawson Knox, almost, right? People were on the edge of saying Dawson Knox, right? Like, roster bubble, right? And now look, he's starting to work out. So it could happen, and maybe that's what they're holding out for. And I think that the whole Cody Ford thing is like a Dawson Knox thing, right? So they're like, okay, let's just keep patient. It's gonna work. But there has to come a time eventually, and it's his responsibility too to say, hey, Bean, it ain't working out. Like, we have to move on from here. You know what I mean? Like, we can't keep on going season after season and like shuffling him around the board, and then putting him, put somebody else in, and now we're going to still keep. You got to move on. You got to look for free agents, maybe possible trades, drafting, but you can't keep with the same offensive line. If it ain't working, it ain't working. And it could be a combination of everything. I don't know, Mikey. It's a great question. It is, but
it's just something I've been thinking about. Like, so is it, because we talked a lot about it in the off season last year. Is it a scheme issue? Is it a player issue? But at some point, and this is something I haven't heard anybody talk about, and I would love to hear more of this from not just us, but from other content creators, maybe guys who dig into the film a little bit more. And is it a coaching issue? Because McDermott is a teacher. That's what he likes his guys to be. Bean drafts traits. McDermott, has to develop them, and we haven't developed anybody. Because you're telling me Dawson, Wyatt Teller had all that in him, and we couldn't get it out of him.
Yeah,
maybe we're in the wrong scheme. Maybe he just didn't fit our scheme, and that's fine. But maybe our O-line coach isn't a good developer.
Yeah, but then you got to ask yourself, Brandon Beane's ultimately the guy that makes the decision on the trade, correct? Like, he also evaluates players.
He listens to he listens to what the.
I know he listens, but he watches film. He knows he's out there. He sees. He's not dumb. He's not just in an office going, oh, he's no good. Okay, like, believe me, I'm sure he's doing some kind of work going, okay, no, I like this guy, because I'm sure we don't know this, but I'm sure there's been coaches that say, hey man, maybe we should move on with him. And maybe Brandon Beane said, no, like, I think we should keep him. He's let's just keep him another season. You never know. So with Wyatt Teller, that Beane ultimately made the decision to trade him. He could have said, no, man, I see something in the kid, or let's keep him on a practice or something. Right. So clearly he didn't see enough, or something was not,
or he just wasn't the right fit for the scheme we were trying to run. He was the offensive lineman that had the most value, so we got something for him.
Yeah, it's very possible.
I mean, we kept Brian Winters over him.
Yeah, that's terrible. Like that. See what I'm saying? But ultimately, at the end of the day, Beane made the decision. Beane could have said, no, man, Winters has to go. I'd rather have him on the bench. You know what I mean? Like,
but Beane's not going to but at the same time, Beane's not going to overrule McDermott and the coaches saying, if they're saying that this guy is the same as this guy, and Beane's like, okay, then if I get something for him, he's not going to overrule McDermott. They work too close for him to overrule him like that.
Right, but then you got it. Okay, so that McDermott also comes into play. Then that's what I'm saying. Like, they're not. It's just not Johnson going, hey, Beane, get rid of this guy.
No,
like, ultimately
it goes McDermott, Johnson, then it goes up to Dayball, then it goes to McDermott, and then
Right.
to Bean and his staff
Yeah.
to have the conversation.
Exactly. So I'm saying I don't know if I blame Johnson for that, because ultimately, like I said, maybe McDermott could have saw something in Wyatt Teller. I don't think they saw him being what he became. I'll be dead on. Obviously not. They would have never traded him, but clearly there was a mistake there. Clearly.
I mean, and right here, Daniel Garth comes in and says McDermott has more power than Bean. I mean, ultimately, I think they work well hand in hand. I think McDermott tells Bean what kind of players he needs, what he's looking for, and Bean goes out and finds them. At the end of the day, Bean's not down on the field coaching these guys and having to develop them. So, they stay in their lanes and they work well together. Ultimately,
yeah, exactly.
McDermott was there first. Like, McDermott doesn't report to Bean. McDermott reports to the Pagulas just like Bean reports to the Pagulas. So it's a great working relationship. But
No,
it's a question. Yeah, it's a question that needs to be asked. Is do we have the right offensive line coach to develop these guys? Because we do have a bunch of young players. Brown, Doyle, Bucker, Ford, Bates. They're all 27 and younger. So there's time. And if they're not developing, it's either A, the player isn't the right guy, and McDermott, it's all about the process. If the guy isn't putting in the work, he's not going to be on this team. So it's telling me the guy's putting in the work. Maybe we don't have the right guy and in charge of him.
It's very possible. I mean, listen, McDermott fired the offensive coordinator.
Yeah. Exactly.
It could happen. I mean, I'm just saying. Now, would it happen mid-season? I don't think so. But could we bring a new guy in next season? Very possible, depending on how the rest of the season goes. Let's be real, right? Because if the season ends on a good note, which I think it will.
Oh, John comes in. John comes in and says, "Let's not start this kind of talk. It grows into fester." I am nitpicking, 100%. Nitpicking right now. It was just something I had noticed, as I was watching Teller and that Browns offensive line, and I was in complete and utter envy. And envy is, the sin of all sins. Being envious of another offensive line. It's just like, I just haven't seen us really bring a homegrown. Dawkins is our best homegrown guy. Dawkins is good.
You've been throwing darts at. You printed out a picture of Johnson. You've been throwing darts.
No, it's not even I dislike OG Bobby Johnson. I was asking the question. I was just asking the question. As far as individual lower coaches, they need to be evaluated, and they are. They're evaluated every year. Everyone on the coaching staff, everyone on the roster, everyone in the front office gets evaluated every year, and I will trust that McDermott and Bean know what they're doing and have the right guys in place. It was just an honest question, because I haven't seen anybody developed yet. And I'm like, and I see guys get developed in every single unit except for the offensive line. And I'm like, what is going on?
Right.
And maybe the guys just aren't good enough. Maybe they don't fit the scheme that we're running. I don't know.
It's that's what I'm telling you.
I'm grasping for straws.
It's very possible.
I'm just grasping for straws. Possible. I want to see our interior be better.
There's bad first round picks, right? There's bad top 5 picks. Like Cody Ford could just not be the guy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
well, it's not just Cody Ford, like Ryan Bates.
No, I'm just saying, like
Bacher. I mean, granted, Bates and Bacher were undrafted free agents, so it's not like we've put that draft capital into these guys. Cody Ford was our biggest draft capital guy,
right,
as a second round pick. Other than that, this last year when we drafted our 2 tackles, other than that, it's just been guys off of the free agency that we have.
Yeah.
And maybe I am wrong, and Bobby Johnson's doing a fantastic job making sure that, they're serviceable guys that are playing. Maybe he's doing a fantastic job, and I just don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
I don't know. All I know is when I watch us run the ball, it's a fucking nightmare.
It is
like 2 or 3 guys.
But is it a development thing? Is it a scheme thing? There's it's so far over my head on this type of stuff that maybe I'll just quit talking about it.
It's just weird because Buffalo, if you really backtrack, like, most of us here are long time Buffalo Bills fans, we always had a decent running game. Like, the problem was always the quarterback, right? Like LaShawn McCoy, he played great, right? The last good running back, but we had a good line. Richie Incognito, like, the rest of the line was doing their job. Like, everybody was freeing up him to run. Beast mode, Marshawn Lynch, Fred Jackson, like, all these players had good running stats. Willis McGahee, like, I can go back and back and back. We never had a running back problem until now. Like, now it's a fucking issue. And it's been an issue for like the last 3. And it's not, I don't think it has nothing to do with running backs. It's just the line we can't get it right. We cannot block good enough. We can't open any holes for these. Bro, the guy for Cleveland last night, I don't even know his damn name, but he ran for like 140 yards.
Dearness Johnson.
I'm supposed to show you. Right. Put Yanarnis, whatever his name is, on our team. That dude would have like 6 carries, 10 yards. I promise you. He's nothing special. It's just they had a good offensive line who opened up holes. That's all you need.
He hit the
one
holes.
hole.
And he hit the holes.
That's all you need, though. Right? Look at Devin Singletary this year when he had the one hole. That's all you needed. He took off for like 45 yards. Whenever Devin Singletary gets a little gap, just a little room, he could do something. I mean, I'm telling you, he always has little chunk plays, but it's so far in between. The line just cannot do it on regularly. They just can't. I don't get it. And the tight end blocking's bad too. I got to tell you, the tight end don't block very well either.
Yeah. And Stephon, I don't like the idea of putting loss on a single play. There was a lot of plays that we didn't lose Monday night because of the one play where Josh didn't get the offensive line. We lost because it wasn't just red zone. We also lost because our defense couldn't stop anybody.
We still should have won.
We gave up 34 points.
I don't care. Red zone. I'm telling you, it don't matter. We were never.
If our defense doesn't let them score more points than we scored, we win.
Mikey, that's going to happen here and there.
Yeah.
The defensive. Listen, even the best defenses eventually have that game where they play a bad game, right? But our offense was in the red zone more times than not. They should have scored touchdowns there. They left.
We're gonna agree to disagree on this one. We're gonna agree to disagree on this one.
Mikey,
you can tell me all you want. It doesn't mean that I'm going to see it your way.
I'm just telling you. I'm not saying you see it my way, but listen to me. The one game our defense plays bad, right? This season. The one game. That's it. Our offense did not step up when they needed to in the red zone. If they did, we would not be sitting here talking about the Buffalo Bills loss to the Tennessee Titans.
I'm telling you right now, for 31 points.
I get it, Mikey. But if the red zone wasn't so bad, that 31 is no longer 31. It's like 41. We win 41-34. For as bad as the defense played.
So the defense played bad, so you want the offense to play perfect.
They didn't. Yes, if they're in the red zone, that's their job. That they're in the red zone.
Okay, that's their. You just said that was their job.
But wait, hold on, pause. The red zone's been bad all season. The defense has not been bad all season. So the defense makes one mistake in one game where the offense has been making the same mistake since week 1, and it caught up to us. That's why we lost the game. Because the red zone continues to be a failure. I'm telling you, Mikey.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. You're telling me the top-ranked offense, because we were ranked number 1.
Okay.
It wasn't good enough because the defense made a mistake.
Yes, correct. The red zone. What's our red zone rank?
We're 27th, but we're still putting up the second most points in football. So even with the 27th ranked, red zone.
How many points did we score in the fourth quarter?
0 on 2 possessions because our defense couldn't get us the ball.
How many in the second half?
11 on 4 possessions because our defense couldn't get us the ball.
Right.
We had 12 possessions, 8 of them in the first half, 4 of them in the second. To tell me how our offense is supposed to put up more points if your defense doesn't give you the ball.
Listen, eventually, the offense has to fix the red zone, or it's going to be a problem. The defense is going to have a game like this here and there. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying the defense didn't play, play great. They played bad. They got gassed out. They gave up 34 points. But I'm saying, if I'm going to lean one way, I'm going to lean towards the red zone fuck-ups. We should have scored touchdowns there. There's no excuse. And I'll go back to the Chiefs game the year before when we did the same bullshit in the red zone. And we lost the same fucking thing.
Okay,
you cannot leave points off the board.
I'm reading the chat. You are standing on a side by yourself.
Hey, that's fine.
I'm just saying.
I can stand that's fine. I can stand on my side. But the Reds, if you guys listen, if you think that's okay, then fuck it. Let's just be the 27th ranked red zone offense. Also,
no, I'm saying the red zone needs to get better. I'm not saying that takes it can't.
That's gonna fucking listen. That's gonna bite us in the ass, and I'm gonna tell you why. Playoffs come. And all you guys in the chat that disagree with me, when the playoffs come and we're going against some high caliber teams, not the fucking Jets, not the Dolphins, not the Jaguars, not the Texans, when we're going against the Chiefs, we're going to maybe a Super Bowl, that defense is going to give up points. And if our team and the offense doesn't score in the red zone, we will lose in a playoff game.
If our defense is giving up 34 points. You can't
just give up 0 every time.
I get what you're saying, Tommy, but you're not getting on the other side. we got 4 possessions in the second half because our defense couldn't get off the field. Tommy, 4 possessions in the second half because our defense couldn't get off the field. You don't care that they had the time of possession?
Wait a minute. Let's start over. So in the beginning, you said in the red zone, if we would have scored right away, we'd have been up 14-0.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not running the ball as much, right? Gassing our defense, correct? And maybe that doesn't even come down to 34 points. Maybe they don't score 14 points because we stopped that mess because they're constantly passing. What happened when they went to the pass right away? Ryan Tannehill got picked off right away. The game was looking sweet up until that run, correct? I mean, we were in control defensively in that first quarter. So let's say we score points in the red zone. We're up 14-3 or whatever. Titans aren't continuing to run while our red zone work is getting touchdowns instead of field goals. So now instead of being 14, now we're up 21, let's say, to 7. Now they're definitely passing. I'm telling you, bro, it does have to do with the offense. If the offense puts up the points, the other offense has to counter.
I get what you're saying for this one game. I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
you're talking about in general. What I'm saying is
through the season.
Okay, so say the first half played out the same way. The offense should have been better. We were still winning at halftime.
We should. Yeah.
We touched the ball 4 times in the second half.
I get it.
4 times.
Should have been up then more at the halftime. We should have been more up to halftime.
So you put zero of this blame on the defense. Even though they couldn't get off the field.
No,
but that's what
I
you're
didn't
telling
say
me.
that.
It's the offense's fault.
I'm saying I put more on. I said I put more on the offense. Why we lost? I never said that it's 100% the offense's fault. I said it's to me. My feeling is the offense is a little bit more to blame for this loss Monday night, because the red zone, right? If we score those touchdowns, at least a couple of those red zone trips, we win the game. Plain and simple. There's no talking about this. That's it. We win the game. We have more points at the end of the day. So yes, I will blame a little bit more on the offense.
Okay, and
we did get Henry.
Yeah,
but we still should have won the game.
You know, at the end of the
day. And by the way, we got our ass kicked last year, so I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
And by the way, Tannehill, fucking, there was no excuse for that. We shouldn't have sat at AJ Epinesa. That's on the coaching staff. No sacks. That's on the coaching staff for not bringing the heat against Tannehill. Like we bring no pressure. I don't understand that. The red zone work was terrible. So overall, it was both sides of the ball. I think played bad at times. No doubt about it. I thought Josh Allen was our best player the whole game through everything. He played his ass off. But the red zone work has to get fixed. It has to get fixed.
I do agree.
Before the
playoffs. I do 100% agree the red zone has to get fixed.
Because the defense cannot play perfect every game.
No,
my point.
And I don't think so.
Right there to score, we need to score to cover the defense's ass for sure. That's all I'm
But
saying. You know
but
what I
I'm
mean?
saying. So would you say the Chiefs offense is better than the Titans offense?
This season, I would say with a healthy Titans offense, it's even. Only because Ryan Tannehill is like a middle of the pack quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be real. Mahomes is a top 3 quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to take that in consideration. They got one of the best receivers in the game, and they got one of the best tight ends in the game. I think the Titans have the best running back in the game, and they got good receivers. I don't think they're unbelievable, but A.J. Brown's good. But they didn't tear us up. If you play him right, at Tannehill right,
Okay.
they're not
So
going to beat.
So you're saying they're even, right?
Even.
1 week we give up 20, and we score 30 something on offense. The next week we give up 34. We get 0 sacks on one of the worst offensive lines that doesn't have their all-pro left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And they held the ball for the majority of the second half because our defense couldn't get off the field. How is our offense supposed to help win the game if they're only touching the ball 4 times?
Well, because the defense, the strategy was bad. We got gashed by we put everybody in the box on Henry after that one play. And then Tannehill beat us in the fourth quarter. If you want to evaluate the game, like that's what happened. Henry didn't beat us in the fourth quarter. Let's be real. I think Tannehill made the bigger plays. When
Tannehill to A.J. Brown over the middle beat us in the fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter, yeah. We couldn't stop him. We brung no pressure, brung no heat. That's I gotta say, and I love Frazier. And I love McDermott defensive wise, but I don't know what happened there. Like, I don't know what happened. But my point, go ahead. But I'm just saying, like, they're going to have their days where they have a bad game.
And that's fine. And they can have a bad day and give up 27 and not give up 34. You know,
true.
Like the fact that they gave up 34 and couldn't get off the field, and whether that was the players, whether that was the scheme, whatever the case may be. You know, could the offense have done better? Yes, they could have. Do we need to get better on offense? Do we have things to fix? Yes, we should have. But at the end of the day, that game falls on the heels of that defense, not on the offense. The offense scored 31 points. That should have been good enough to win, but it wasn't. And, and Stefan comes in and says, our defense is built for the Chiefs, not the Titans. You're right. However, the Chiefs, we played a robber defense to take away the middle. We didn't play that same defense. If we would have took away the middle, the Titans don't win. Because that's where they killed us. The entire second half was A.J. Brown over the middle. So
over the middle every time.
The scheme was bad. Yeah, the scheme was bad. We didn't have the right personnel. We for some stupid reason dressed 6 linebackers and only played 2, and didn't dress one of our best defensive ends in A.J. Epinesa, who puts pressure on the quarterback. So who knows?
Who could have handled? At the end of the day, by the way, who could have handled Henry? I think too. Like I don't think A.J. is like this skinny edge rusher. Like the guy can lower the boom. I think he can take on Henry. Like I don't think that would have been like a mismatch problem. I don't understand why they had to load up like that, like in the middle. It didn't work anyway.
Yeah. I do agree that we need to fix our red zone issues. We've been talking about this for weeks now. The crazy part of all of it is if we fix our red zone issues, we'll be slaughtering people. Because we're second highest scoring team in the NFL, and we're 27th in the red zone. We'll be slaughtering people.
That's right. So, that's right. Like if you want to put 2020 in perspective, our defense was pretty goddamn bad, but our offense was pretty damn awesome.
And our defense was bad at the beginning of the year.
I know,
but got better at the second half of the year in 2020.
But our red zone, we were like top 10.
Yeah.
Right? Like we were very good in the red zone. Like we didn't miss many opportunities in red zone. This season is like total opposite. And that's the drawback. We may be scoring points, but we're leaving so many off the board that we didn't last season. I'm telling you, look at the numbers that we put up last season. Like way better because of the red zone, right?
Yeah.
When we got down there. So it has to get fixed, bro.
And Nathan, and I understand what Tommy was saying. My point was when we went back to that one game, I don't put that on the offense. I put that on and I shouldn't even say it's the defense. I put that on the coaching scheme because that scheme
Thank
was
you, Brian.
flawed. So, at the end of the day, that is what it is. I did want to, before we head out of here, I wanted to talk a little bit about Josh. 2020 versus 2021. Everyone was super worried at the beginning of the year. I will tell you, he's actually above pace of his MVP year. So I think this is the Josh we're going to get going forward. I don't think we're going to see a regression. Through 6 weeks last year, he has 4 more completions on 14 more attempts. So his completion percentage is at 64.8 right now. It's down 2.3%. He has 12 more passing yards. He has 1 less passing touchdown, but 1 less interception. His quarterback rating is down 2.5%. He's been sacked, 2 less times, but he's had to run more because the offensive line has been shaky. He has 7 more carries for 71 more yards. He has 1 less touchdown, but 2 less fumbles. So overall, he's 83 yards ahead of his pace last year. And we just went through our gauntlet of our games. That was like our hardest stretch of games.
Yeah, that was it on the road. And how many
we
times
have yet to see the Jets, the Patriots,
Right. By the way, how many times we're going to play in Tennessee? I mean,
right.
I'm just saying, like, Jesus Christ, man, like, can they come to Buffalo? I'm not saying that's because we lost. I'm just saying, my God, like, come on, NFL, like, they can come here too. They can come to Buffalo. But what I do want to see now that we're on Allen for real quick.
Yep.
I do want to see Dable getting, and I say this like I feel like I'm a broken record, getting Allen rolling out more, buying time for his receivers to make a play. He's his best. I swear to God, every time he rolls out, I know there's a play going to happen. Every time. Bro, during the game, I'm saying, get Beasley involved. Have him roll out. And what happens? Boom, Beasley for a touchdown. Knox for a touchdown. He's so deadly on the run. I'm not saying do it every play, but my God, like, I would definitely start putting that more into the playbook where you get him out on the run where he can either decide to take off or throw the ball. And 9 times out of 10, he's looking to pass. So I'm not saying run Josh Allen. I'm just saying get him out of the pocket.
Move the pocket.
Because listen, the pocket's collapsing.
Yeah.
It's just not good right now. So I'd much rather him out of there.
Yeah, and I also agree on that. I will add to that. I think our offensive linemen are better when they're on the move. So like when they're pulling the pin and pull runs, those are the ones that seem to hit big time rather than just trying to, force, do more of the zone gap stuff. So moving the O-line one way or the other and getting Josh rolling, I think ideally, and he throws awesome on the run. He's one of the best on the run throwers in the league.
Yeah.
I do agree with that.
And it keeps the defense honest too, because they have no idea what Josh is going to do. Like, is Josh running? Do I stay with the receiver? What do I do here? What do I do? And Josh makes awesome decisions too. I got to say, like, he's one of the best. He puts it where that corner's not going to be able to get it right on the sideline, or he's just guiding his receiver down the field.
Yeah.
They got to do it more. They got to do it more.
And I don't think he has to just roll right. We can roll him left. He can throw left as well.
Yeah.
We just get him out of the pocket. Get the guys moving so they're not all coming out one stationary. I also think it will help, Spencer Brown. It'll help the guards. It'll help the O line.
Yeah. And I'm not saying every time. Like, so don't I don't want anyone thinking roll Josh every play. I'm just saying put it a little bit more, especially when teams are.
Am I seeing this right? Josh Allen's still struggling with the deep pass. Josh is not struggling with the deep pass. He's actually hit more of those this year than he's ever has.
Yeah, he's hitting them. I think the first game he struggled.
Yeah, he was chasing the dragon, as that's what they call it.
Yeah,
chasing the dragon.
But after that, once he I think once him and Dable got to talking about, hey, I don't like this. Let's get rid of this. You saw the offense and Josh Allen start to heat up and take what he likes. And I think he's hitting them. There's no doubt.
He's hit quite a few in stride this year. And the ones that Diggs that he's hit, where Diggs has had to slow down. Yeah, he's
He
hit
hit
Sanders a
Sanders
bunch of times.
few times. Perfect.
Wide
passes.
open. You have to remember, he was throwing that ball 65 yards, 70 yards down the field to those guys. So the guy had to slow up. And Diggs should have, the one against the Chiefs, if Diggs didn't stop because he
I don't
caught
know
it,
what he was doing there. That was
I
weird.
think he thought he was by himself.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
he thought he was by himself.
That was a touchdown if he didn't do that.
And Richard
by
Ford
the
comes
way,
in.
he hit Knox.
Yep.
He hit Knox the week before on a deep play, and he hit Cole Beasley in the Tennessee game.
Yep.
On a deep play.
And Richard Forbes, I agree. He seems to be throwing it under a little bit, underthrowing rather than overthrowing to give his receivers a chance to at least catch the ball.
He's always had that problem though.
Well, no, he used to overthrow the guys. He used to
underthrow
no, I'm saying those deep balls.
Yeah.
He seems to be
the deep balls way over.
He used to way overthrow them. Now he's
taking a little
he seems to be underthrowing them so the guys can come back. Then it's either they're going to catch it or they're going to get PI. You know,
but he hasn't.
I think that's by design.
Yeah, they switched his mechanics. I'm telling you, something. He's throwing a little different on his deep pass. But I was gonna say his underthrows, like, are the short passes, like the screen passes. He's still working on that. Like he hasn't really gotten that yet in motion, but he'll get there.
It's just the way it looked to me. Maybe I'm wrong, Spin. When I saw it on film, it looked like he stopped. Like
it was odd.
He slowed down, he caught it, and then it looked like he stopped. Like he went to turn around to look to where guys were at, rather than just keep running. Just my opinion. If you saw it different, that's fine. We can agree to disagree on that.
Yeah, it was a funky play.
It was weird. But again, no one's expecting Josh to throw it 65, 70 yards down the field to a wide open Diggs.
Right. Yeah. And by the way, I know we're getting out of here, but that 2-point conversion was like, that was a pretty, you see, like, that was like almost like a red zone kind of, like, I know it's the tricky play, but my God, like, we couldn't have done anything different on that 4th and 1 where they knew Josh was going for the sneak there. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. All the plays are going to.
I would have rather seen, honestly, on that play, and I'm not going to second guess it. Josh gets that 9 times out of 10. I would have rather seen a play more along the lines of going for the win rather than just the first down, and seen us run that RPO that we ran at the end of the Chiefs game, where he has the run, the flat, or the corner, and let him run that play. But it is what it is. That game is what it is.
Or just go up. I don't know why he went to the left once again.
Yeah,
if he would have just got under center to begin with, I think, and had a fullback, maybe Gilliam behind him, or Moss to push him, give him that, that he would have got it, bro. It was a yard, like, for sure.
Well, I even if Moss was pushing him, Josh fell down. He slipped. There was no pushing him. He just
but that's because he went to the left. I'm saying if he would have hiked it and went straight up the middle behind Morse, I think he would have gotten it, man.
But someone wrote in here about Josh's MVP. So right now, let me ask you, who do you think is the leader of the MVP race?
It's not Josh.
Okay. Who do you think it is?
I think Josh is there. I think Josh is, like, probably in the conversation. But I would say right now, Rodgers, or it's going to be either Rodgers or Dak, man. Like, I think they're playing really good on a high level. Josh is there. Yeah.
So Josh has over 500 yards more than he does, has 3 more touchdowns than he does.
Okay.
Josh actually has Murray by 100 yards. They have the same amount of touchdowns, the same amount of turnovers.
Okay. Well, I didn't say Murray.
Brady's leading everybody in yards, but he also has like 70 more pass attempts than everybody else in football.
Yeah, that's all they do. They get a running team.
So when you look at, like, everyone's talking about Lamar Jackson, he's playing better than his MVP year. Lamar Jackson, because of his rushing, he has 2,000 yards. He has like 50 more yards than Josh, but he has 6 less touchdowns and 4 more turnovers.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not. It's so early right now. Like we're not even. But I mean, I definitely think Josh Allen is in the conversation.
I was listening to
He's
the
top
talking
3
heads.
for sure. He's somewhere, you know.
Yeah, I was listening to talking heads. They're talking up Dak, they're talking up Brady, they're talking up Jackson, they're talking about Murray, and Josh's stats actually through 6 games compare, if not better. And it looks like we may have lost Tommy. Did we lose you, Tommy?
Oh, did you?
Oh no. Okay, you're frozen, but I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Am I frozen?
Yeah.
I'm back in.
No, it's okay. It's just a thing. We're gonna wrap up anyway. So I just wanted to get that take on it for you. For the rest of the folks, it's a bye week. Enjoy your stress-free football this weekend. I will miss the Bills, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. We'll get ready for the Miami Dolphins. Okay, so it wasn't frozen to everyone else. It was just frozen on my side, so that's fine.
Damn you liar!
You're frozen on my side. I didn't know. It is what it is.
Thank you,
yeah. So we got the Dolphins coming up at home. It'll be nice. It'll be nice to come out. Let's come out and score a bunch of touchdowns, shut them down, and enjoy our next 3 weeks of our schedule.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, listen. To wrap this up, we got to come out. This is what I want to see. We got to come out in that Dolphin game. We got to show them right away, back again, just like we did week 2. And what I want to see is the red zone work. That's the most important thing. We need to blow that team out. We need to start making noise again. Like this is that last week was not. That's not us. We need to start marching. Listen, these teams we should steamroll. Let's be real.
Yeah.
These next 3 opponents we should steamroll. I do not want to see close games. I do not want to see field goal city because we can't get touchdowns in the red zone. We need to. These are games where we can start improving our team, right?
Yep.
Fixing the red zone work against bad teams. Like let's do this. Getting the offensive line right. Then when we play Tampa, like probably the next real opponent, we got to show out. And if we show out, we know we're right. But we can't play bad with these teams. We got to steamroll.
Now I'll kind of go with Richard on this. Steamroll is a tough thing. They are still NFL players. They do still get paychecks. I think we should be winning. They should not be struggling against these teams. We are a better team than all 3.
We're in Buffalo. We're in Buffalo against Miami, who we beat 35-0. Who are having quarterback issues apparently. Like 2 of they don't know who they want to keep, right? Like there's a lot going on there. They just lost to the Jaguars. Who knows how they'll play this week? We should steamroll them. Jacksonville, come on, man. Like that's a bad team. Like there's no excuse. And the Jets are just as bad. Like, yes, I think we should steamroll. I get their NFL, but come on, man. Listen, the bad teams we played this year, we beat bad. And there's no excuse. And we should be playing mad after this performance. Like this team, and most of the time we do.
Only 3 more stuff on?
Should be more than that. All right, man. But yeah, we've been on here a minute, bro.
Yeah. I feel like they can't beat these teams by enough. just keep your foot to your pedal and metal. Play our game. Don't play to our competition. Play our game, and we should be just fine. But anyways,
some fun out.
I want to thank everyone in the chat. You guys have been awesome. We really appreciate it. I want to thank Mr. Rogers Homes, who sponsors us. Top 1% realtor in Arizona for all your real estate needs in Arizona. Call Sean Rogers. He is Bills Mafia as well. For #sports, Paul, Mario, we appreciate you guys. For Joe, I am Mike. That is Tommy, and we're out.